I think what's amazing is when you look at some of the saints that are being beatified and canonized these days, you look at them and actually their lives are starting to look like our lives. It's not something that was like someone from 500 years ago, but someone that they're having the lives of people that happened within the 20th century, and like probably the greatest example of this is Blessed Carlo Acutis. When you see him, when he was buried in a pair of jeans and a hooded sweatshirt, stuff that we would wear, And now I know he was known as the apostle to the internet for what he did for all the miracles of the Eucharist that he made a website for it and evangelized that way. Well, there's also someone else. There's a young woman whose cause is up for sainthood now too, who was from Montana. And she was a focused missionary on a college campus. And what's interesting is that on November 12th, there's a movie in the movie theater about her that's coming out. But her life was just like a life that we would live today. She worked on college campuses, and she would help these young adults, these college kids, to help in their walk in faith. What's interesting is when this one documentary I saw of her, you would see all these people going, yeah, it was because of her I became a priest or a nun, or because of her I found my spouse. In terms of helping these people walk that path of faith. It's interesting is that what's interesting is that in doing so, it shows us that our faith is not just merely something that is personal. It's something that we need other people to help us with. It's because when we see our gospel today, we see Bartimaeus. He's crying out to Jesus, say, to the Son of David, have pity on me. And what's interesting, when Jesus finally said, let him come over, all of his friends, I call them friends, all the people around him helped him and told him, take courage, go to him. It wasn't alone. It was with other people. So our faith is not just meant to be a personal thing. It's meant to be a way in which our faith lives with other people. And there's not a saint out there that didn't have some struggle somewhere. It reminds us that all of us need those people around us to help us in our walk. And the same with Bartimaeus today. No different in that regard. We need others to help us walk the path of faith. And realize too, when Bartimaeus went to Jesus, Jesus' question was this: what do you want me to do? And he said, I want to see. So Jesus didn't, what's interesting, Jesus didn't put his hands over his eyes. He didn't do all the other things. He says, go on your way, your faith has saved you. Continue your walk and follow me. What's interesting is that this is the only person in scriptures, the Gospels, that we know the person's name who Jesus healed. Everybody else was, the beggar or this, that, and the other. But this is the first person we know his name. And you're probably wondering, Father, why is that important? I'll tell you why it's important. The thing is this, is that most likely it's because this person was probably very well known in the early Christian community. And it's showing that, the people that knew him, or he was always known by many people, that, hey, he needed to start with Jesus too. And this walk that we go on reminds us then that again, it's others around us that help us walk that way. And others around us that say, you know what? I need to confide in somebody else of what my struggle is going on. Because someone else needs that as well. The more we build these good, strong friendships and bonds, allow us to walk this faith, it's amazing how much stronger we walk together. And secondly is that when we talk about faith, hope, and love, the three most important virtues, they're active. They're not passive. It makes you wonder if Jesus, or if God ever looks at us and say, yes, I want you to help, I want you to discern and pray about what my will is for you. But I wonder if God says, but just go do something. And sometimes we have to just go and say, I'm going to help here today. Or I'm going to do this today. I haven't done this in a while. I'm feeling a call to do this. Sometimes we need to make that more active in our life. When we do, we see that life of Christ around us all the more. So this day, this story of Bartimaeus today, how can we each day realize that we are called to get up and keep walking? And know that we need that help that we need, that guidance that we need. But we need our brothers and sisters, our friends around us, our family around us, to help us walk that path. Because we can't do it alone.